I've been watching the news, scrolling through social media, and I'm seeing the same pattern all over again. People are paralysed by fear right now. We've got headlines screaming about interest rates, cost of living crisis, potential recession, house prices supposedly either crashing or soaring depending on which expert you listen to this week. And you know what I'm seeing? People are using this as an excuse to do absolutely nothing. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to share with you today. The biggest opportunity of your lifetime might be staring you right in the face. And you're missing it. You're listening to the wrong voices. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually cared what someone was doing with their property portfolio? I mean, really cared. You might have scrolled past someone's success story. You might have even felt a bit envious. But did you genuinely sit there thinking about their life for more than 30 seconds? Of course you didn't. You were too busy worrying about your own problems. But here's what's fascinating. We're still sitting here worried about what everyone else is going to think of us. If we fail, if we make a mistake, if we don't know what we're doing. Meanwhile, those same people aren't even thinking about us at all. And then we compound this with what I call news paralysis. Every morning you wake up, another doom and gloom headline. You know what I'm talking about. House prices set to crash. Interest rates could go through the roof. Landlords facing new regulations. Cost of living crisis deepens. And you think, well, I can't possibly start investing now. It's too risky. I'll wait till things settle down. But here's the brutal truth. Things never, and I mean never, settle down. There's always a crisis. There's always uncertainty. I've been in this game for years, and I can tell you, if I'd have waited for the perfect time, I'd still be waiting. So, here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. And it's the same shift that I see in every successful property investor I know. Nobody cares what you're doing. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but it's actually the most liberating truth you're ever going to hear. Think about it. You're worried about looking stupid. You're worried about failing publicly. You're worried about not knowing enough. But the reality is 99% of people are too busy dealing with their own lives to judge yours. And the 1% who do judge, they're usually the ones doing absolutely nothing themselves. The people actually building wealth, they're too busy taking action to waste their time criticising others. Now, about all this news that's got everyone scared, let me tell you something. The people who make money in property aren't the ones waiting for certainty. They're the ones who act while everyone else is frozen by fear. Right now, while everyone else is worried about interest rates, I'm seeing opportunities everywhere. Motivated sellers who need to move on quickly, less competition from other investors, property staying on the market for longer, tenants looking for better quality accommodation because home ownership is now completely out of reach for most people. The news wants you scared because fear sells advertising, and that's how they make their money. But successful investors, they see opportunity where others see problems. Let me tell you about one of our property school members. Let's call it Emma. She was exactly where many of you are right now, scrolling through property listings, watching YouTube videos, telling herself she'd start when the time was right. But Emma took a decision. She said, I'm tired of letting fear decide my future. She joined property school, learnt about rent-to-rent strategies, and within 90 days, she has her first deal generating £600 per month passive income. Not life-changing amounts of money, but it proves something crucial. She could do this. Fast forward to today, and she's got properties generating over £2,000 a month in passive income. While everyone else is waiting for the perfect time, Emma's building her future. Emma didn't have some sort of special advantage. She didn't have massive capital. She didn't have massive property experience. She didn't have any insider knowledge. She had something much more powerful. She stopped caring about what might go wrong and started focusing on what might go right. And this is what we see time and time again in property school. Students who take action despite the uncertainty always outperform those who are waiting for guarantees, because the guarantees never come. Because here's another truth. There are no guarantees in life, except this one. If you don't start, you definitely won't succeed. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds great, but I don't know where to start. I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the contacts, I don't have the experience, all the money, and that's exactly why we created Property School. Look, I could stand here and give you some generic advice, but what you really need is a complete system. You need to learn from people who actually built successful property portfolios. Not just the theorists, not just the YouTube gurus. Property School gives you access to hundreds of hours of training courses and masterclasses from the UK's top property investors and trainers. People actually doing what they teach. We're talking about people who have built multi-million pound portfolios. We cover everything. Buy-to-let fundamentals, rent-to-rent, commercial conversions, no money down, deal sourcing. It's all in there. We even cover additional topics like AI for property investors, how to negotiate, how to raise money, how to buy properties at auction. Plus, we run live masterclasses and new content every week. There's also a private community of active investors and direct access to mentors who guide you through your first deals. Now, here's the thing. Normally, this kind of education costs thousands. I know, because I've spent well over 6 figures personally on courses and mentoring. But we wanted to remove every excuse that you've got right now for not starting, so you can get full access to Property School for less than 50p a day, much less than your morning coffee. We're not going to tie you into any long-term contracts. You can cancel anytime. You can go in and consume all of the content if you want, and then just cancel. Completely up to you. But think about that, 50p a day for access to the knowledge that can generate you hundreds of thousands in monthly passive income. So I want you to go to property.school/go, type that into any browser. That's property.school/go. Type it into any browser. You can even go there right now. But here's the thing I want you to understand, and this is crucial. The cost of inaction is always higher than the cost of action. While you're sitting there, overthinking, analysing every possible risk, watching the news headlines for the all clear signals that are never coming, by the way, opportunities are passing you by every single day. That property you looked at last month, someone else has bought it. That strategy you've been researching for 6 months, others have implemented it. Your future self is depending on the decisions you make today. Just think about that for a second. And I guarantee you, 5 years from now, you won't regret taking action. You'll only regret the action you didn't take. So, here's my challenge to you. Stop letting fear disguised as being sensible rob you from your financial future. Join property.school today. Join for less than 50p a day. Give yourself the education, the support, and finally start building the wealth through property that you want to do. Again, the link is property.school/go. I'll put it in the comments too. And remember, nobody cares if you fail. No one cares if you're new. No one cares even if you don't have the money. But more importantly, nobody cares if you succeed either. So you might as well succeed. Come join us now, and I'll see some of you inside property.school, and I'll see the rest of you making excuses this time next year. Take action. Your future self will thank you.